Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit. We're going to finish one and we're going to start another. And that's how things go. First and foremost, Harold, thank you for hosting. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave Lego emote in the chat. We are going to hang out here and chat for a bit. See if anybody else wants to join us before we get to building. Mr. Bob's here. It's already great. Also, I'm going to adjust this first, and then I'm also gonna. A thing just happened on Twitter. Leo's here. What's up, Leo? A thing just happened, and I'm gonna add a photo because I have to, because a thing appeared on. Oh, Harold just resubscribed for 24 months. So let's also throw the Bear Cave and Lego emote in there for Harold being a subscriber for 2 years. Hell yeah, Harold! Thank you so much for that 2 years. I really appreciate it. Oh, that's not what I wanted to download. Damn it. All right, I'm going to find it. Basically, Aristofan's here. What's up, Aristofan? Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, I got to find this image. Basically, you should follow on Twitter Mondo Mascots. They let you know about Japanese mascots, big and small, famous and infamous. Now, there's a whole culture of it, and the fact that a lot of them are self-employed and a lot of them are not governed by the state or the county, and like are created to be a marketing thing, and then some other company related, and sometimes they are like companies loan out their mascots to various like charities and works, including 3 Pokemon, Geodude, Lapras, and Chansey have been appointed thanks for the reconstruction ambassadors for towns affected by the Great Tanuki Fire, earthquake, I should say, sorry, that will host towns for the 2020 Olympics. So there's towns that were incredibly affected by the hurricane and are earthquake, I should say, I'm sorry, and are rebounding in time to be towns where things can happen. What's up, Lord Crashington? Happy to have you here. So that's great. Pokemon getting involved, helping out. Lapras, Chansey, Geodude, those are all great Pokemon. I'm not here to tell you those aren't great Pokemon, and that isn't rad. What I am here to tell you is that something's up with these mascots, particularly Geodude. And here you go. Can you see what is wrong with Geodude? Can you see what is wrong with Geodude? We're going to build a model kit. We're going to build weapons for our Gerbera. But at first, we got to talk about this suspension of disbelief we are being told to make when it comes to fucking Geodude. Oh, he doesn't have legs. He's got checkerboard white. There are no legs here. Fuck out of here with that. I am irrationally upset about this. You just have to make Geodude so big that you don't see the space you leave for people's feet, the tiny space you leave for people's feet, and it's almost like dragging the costume around. And yeah, you got to work the arms. That's not going to work out, right? The Geodude's going to be so big. This ain't it. This ain't it. Lapras doesn't have checkerboard legs that you can't see. Yeah, make it Graveler. Leo's right. Make it the one that can walk around on, I'm not in the shot of this, but make it the one that has legs. Don't make it the one that doesn't have legs if you don't want to, if you need it to have legs. This is a mistake. This is a hill I will die on. They fucked up. Yeah, those are freaky legs. Lord Crashington, I'm not saying, look, Geodude is a good smashing rock dude. He hangs out with their rocks. He's a great mascot for reconstruction. So I think that Geodude is a great choice for this. I just think they done fucked up real bad. And they need to not do this. Look, there are a lot of Pokemon that have legs. If you need to have legs, you pick a different Pokemon. If you're going to make Geodude, can't fuck around like this. I'm irrationally angry about this, and I understand that, and I apologize for my irrational behavior right now, my seething disgust at what this is. There's other things to be mad about in this world, and to be fair, I am mad about a lot of other things. I am mad about things that you would go, yeah, you should be mad about that. I'm also, in addition, mad about this. What the hell is Lapras going to do without... Well, Leo, maybe the town or the area that it's helping with is a coastal town. You know, there's a lot of coast in Japan. Lapras is a great Pokemon when you need to ride across a body of water, as we all know. I'm still shocked that I was the only one referencing John Drake Giant Bomb Barkerville in the chat tonight's Road Quest. See, the thing is, Harold, the crossover between Loading Ready Run's audience and Giant Bomb's audience is not as big as you or I would think. And I learned that because, like, Graham Stark doing the show, I had a lot of people who were like, I don't know who that is. When Graham did, the first time that Graham did our wrestle show, League of Heels. And it was surprising. I only hear Barkerville when I hear Bloody Tears. Could it be a second Geodude on the bottom? If you're scaling, if you don't want to make the Geodude big enough to hold a full-grown adult human, then you would stack two Geodudes? I don't know. See, even if you did Diglett, you could make a mass of dirt hide the body. But yeah, Harold, I hear you. I was watching in a bit of delay, and then I saw your tweet about Barkerville and how, yeah, nobody was. No, I didn't watch it with chat because, hey, I don't really like chat rooms, especially for a live video that I'm enjoying actively. Y'all are great. Don't get me wrong. Present company excluded. Anyway, we got to build something here. A Alolan Diglett, yeah. I just like, y'all, it's just, that could be so much better than it is. I'm very pale, and that's because my, come on, focus. I'm not as pale as my camera's making me. Whatever. Hey. So if you missed the stream on Saturday, we're body complete and backpack complete. This thing has a stand because its backpack is so big. Loading Ready Run does have a credible community, Harold. You're totally right. I am very appreciative of that community and the sub-communities that exist for various people, because I know there are folks that like have their favorites, and like myself, I enjoy Ben's solo streams. I enjoy Kathleen's music streams. I don't go out of my way to watch, like, other people's streams in that community that stream on their own. I occasionally will check in on a Cameron stream, but, like, I have never seen a Surge stream. Just not something I do. Savanan, Adam, I will pop in. So, yeah, I mean, there's, like, a lot of, like, little mini communities within those large communities I think are fantastic. So no disrespect to that community. It's just it doesn't really... Yeah, I found that there isn't a huge crossover between the two. Which is very funny because a friend of both communities exists. And of course, that person has gone through some metamorphosis. But those fandoms and their movement within the fandoms is actually kind of really interesting, and like I would love to talk about it more. But Felix Kramer, who previously had a different name that shows up in some various documentation, like is like a friend of Loading Ready Run, and especially Desert Bus for Hope, and is also a friend of Giant Bomb, and it's like a very funny, odd connection between the two, but does bridge the gap between the two communities, um, uh, which is fun. I'd like to do more with that. I mean, hopefully, knock on wall, I'll do some more stuff with Loading Ready Run in the future. But I don't know. Right now, look, so we're body complete. You could put the sabers in here. These things do things in this thing. It's a whole deal. This guy's pretty great looking. For a RE100, this was like the third one in the line. This is a really solid kit. Felix is in Canada. Yes, Felix is almost always in Canada, is actually the thing. Felix has bits and spurts of living in the United States, generally for finishing projects. But as a fixer, finisher, supporter, jack of all trades, Felix is often remote while working with companies, and bounces around various Canadian situations mostly, but can find themselves in the United States for things. All right, so we got this big old gun here, and now we're building attachments for our big old gun. I just the way this is designed, it looks like it's got a very long silencer on it, which is an odd choice that I'm not totally against. Let's see. What's going on with me? I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about tonight. It's a weird thing where two of the shows I would have talked about in Anime Talk, which comes in the second hour, so we won't really do that here, but Anime Talk, two of the shows I would have watched were on hiatus this week. And so I do have another thing to talk about there, but I had to like kind of scramble to like have something to chat about, which was odd. But in the first hour, I'm not 100% sure what the discussion will be. I'm not really sure. All right, so we lose that little thing that I thought was funny, and now it just looks like a gun. Felix is cool. I got to meet them at PAX a couple years ago. Yeah, Felix. Well, the thing is that Felix rules. The first ever League of Heels show, when I was just a participant that was happy to be there before I started helping to organize it. Pope was like, Samantha, Felix, different name at the time, Pat, y'all should be friends if you don't know each other. And that, because Pope fucking gets it. And it was really nice. It was people that I really think are rad. Samantha Coleman in the UK, studying music, going for it, working some sort of job to help pay for that. So full-time student with a full-time job, which is not easy at all, but big ups to Samantha Coleman for following and pursuing the dreams. Always appreciate that. Always support that shit. Lord Crashington says, I remember the big Giant Bomb stream where Felix got saddled with doing commentary for much of it with Dave Lang. A fate most don't deserve. Then there was the nacho cheese food combo test. Yes, indeed. The gooch. There's just something so great about that. Much like, unlike nacho cheese and Oreos, the combination of Dave Lang and Felix Kramer is a fantastic thing of two tastes that go very well together. Two great tastes that go well together. unlike nacho cheese and Oreos. The combination of those two people is pretty great. They play off each other very well, professionally and personally. They're pretty great. All right, so we put this thing on the back of this. We got to put this gun. Just has all kinds of attachments and weirdness to it, and different handles, and it does a whole thing. There's a lot of weapons, so not a lot, but there's a good amount of weapons on this kit, and it's pretty complex, which is cool. I appreciate that. There's a smaller gun as well that we're going to build in a minute, and we got a cool shield to build. It's all coming together. E112. This one. All right. Oh, yeah. Got your package today, Pat. Thanks again. Lord Crashington, thank you for being a subscriber. Congrats on winning the monthly giveaway. I always look forward to being able to do that. And also, thank you very much for getting back to me at a reasonable time frame, because now that I work a job during the day, getting to the post office sucks. Look, it's been a long time since I worked during the day. I worked nights, primarily nights, for a very long time. For years and years and years. I still work 2 nights a week. But when I was working 4 or 5 or 6 nights a week, I have come accustomed to being able to do errands that normal people have to schedule around. I could just do whatever the fuck I wanted. And so the fact that you got back to me and I was able to go to the post office on a Saturday, I was just like, oh, thank fucking God. Because otherwise, I'm going to have to get up real early. Now, to be fair, I also have the benefit of my job right now is most days is 10 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. So I can get up early and get to the post office and get back home before my job starts. I am aware of that. But I don't want to do that. Right now, I'm getting up at 9:30, making breakfast, turning my computer on, and starting work, and then I'm eating breakfast as I begin my day. And I'm trying not to wake up before, much before work, just because I am not used to it and have to get used to it. I was, for years and years, I would get up at 11 a.m. unless I had to get up early for a job or something else or a project, an audition, stuff like that. It was just like how my life was for a really long time. So I don't know. Now I'm like, how do I do things? When do I do laundry? I did laundry on Saturday. Saturday is the day where I have worked out my schedule. Worked out. Bad turn there. I have planned out my schedule so that on Saturday all I have is my life and then streaming at night. So I went to the post office. I did laundry. I answered emails. I paid bills. I did all this stuff. And then I was like, well, now it's time to stream. Oh, I shot some video. And yeah. I'm like, oh, that's what Saturday has to be now, huh? Shit. Because I got to do another, I don't have to, but I need to before the Monday, because I'm going to be busy next weekend. This weekend, I'm going to film my next Pat Baer's Anime Club episode. So that way I can bank that and have it done. But that's going to be my Saturday. Lord Creston said I was watching the madness that was Mary Kay's extra live stream when I saw the message, so it was easy to reply quickly. Yeah, it was very helpful. I appreciate that. So thank you for that. Trying to do anything normal freaking blows when you work 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Definitely. Doctor's appointments, dentist visits, post office, driver's license, passport, car appointments. Nothing is open long enough. Yeah, I mean, I totally feel that. When I first moved to the neighborhood that I live in, here in Brooklyn, my grocery store used to close at 7 p.m. because the neighborhood was older. And I was part of one of the first waves. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not talking about gentrification because my neighborhood was gentrified in the 70s. It was gentrified a long ass time ago. What I'm talking about, the fact is that everybody moved in here in the 70s and then nobody else moved in. I mean, people did, but not really until like a wave of young people moved this way as older people retired and moved to Florida and sold their houses to developers and to landlords and all that. So now my grocery store is open till 10 p.m. or 9 p.m., something like that. So I can actually I could go to it after work, theoretically. I usually, when I need groceries, just go during my break because it's right by my apartment. But, yeah, it basically, like, my neighborhoods, as people, like, it got more and more expensive in the neighborhoods they wanted to live in, they started moving towards my neighborhood. And I got here kind of early in that rush, which is good for me. All right, so in there. But yeah, I'm still getting used to this whole day job thing. I know that it sounds weird, I'm sure. Lord Crescent says, going to the grocery store late is so nice instead of the normal rush. Yeah, every once in a while I go and I forget what time I'm at the grocery store, and I'm like, oh no, people are coming home after work. So when I worked 4 or 5 nights a week, late night, when I worked in the East Village, there was a grocery store that was right by the place in the East Village, and I would just go there on the way home. So for me, grocery shopping was a thing I did after work at like 1 a.m. And I would just have, a canvas bag in my backpack or messenger bag and to just stop, get what I need, and then carry on my way. And then I've gotten the habit of, when I was unemployed a lot this year, going to the grocery store just whenever the fuck. It was helpful on Saturday because I went to go mail Lord Crashington their package, and then I stopped at the grocery store that's out of my way, that's inconvenient to go to most of the time, and went there. So that was good to do. That felt semi-productive. All right, we are almost done with this kit. We are getting very close to being finished. Oh, I want to do this one odd thing. So I don't know enough about this kit to understand what this like weird beam is, but there's a weird crooked beam that comes out of this kit, and I'm not sure why, but it does. And so we'll put that on this. And I'm not 100% sure about what this beam is, but it looks pretty fucking cool. It looks pretty neat. After I dropped out of college, I moved in with my dad in the super small town. After 8 p.m., the traffic signals would all turn to flashing red. Nothing was open after that. It was torturous 6 months. Yeah, Leo, I have lived, so I grew up in a very small town. So I should be clear. I grew up in a village in the town of. My hometown was so small that they didn't consider it to be its own town. It didn't have enough industry to be its own town. It was a village, which meant that like we didn't collect enough taxes, so we were part of a town. So yeah, like everything in the center of town closed at a certain time. Eventually, there was a CVS that was open till midnight, and then there was like a few other things that started opening later. But for the longest time, my town was just shut down. Basically, when it got dark, and you'd have to drive to a couple towns over if you needed something. Let's say it was Christmas Day and your mom realized that we didn't have enough olives because there are people coming over, and she thought she had a bunch of extra cans of olives, and she didn't. And you know that the grocery store at the center of town is closed because it's Christmas Day, and you know that the Walgreens isn't going to have it, and you know that the deli that's one town over is closed, so you got to go to the Stop and Shop 3 towns over because you know they'll be open. And isn't that a shame that they're open? But also, oh, thank God they're open because you need more black olives because your son and his cousins fucking love black olives and are going to eat a ton of them, and you need more than 1 can for Christmas Day. That's just a hypothetical example. I'm not saying that's what happened in real life. That's just a weird hypothetical that I mentioned. But yeah, I know it all too well. The sadness that is just having a small town where you're like, I just need something, please. Is anything open? No. The Walgreens is actually a different story. That's Thanksgiving Day. We had somebody coming, and it was like a family friend, and they loved like salted peanuts, and we didn't have any salted peanuts. And I don't know why my mom was like, we need to get salted peanuts. So I had to drive a couple towns over and go to a Walgreens that was open and get Planters. I just remember being like, we don't know this person. They'll survive. But of course, they always had peanuts on Thanksgiving. But they were coming to our house. I was like, this seems unnecessary. I think I've become a much more gracious host in my age than I was in my youth. But I was mostly just like annoyed that I had to leave the house apartment. I had to leave the house to go fucking help some stranger get a thing. We used to just drive up and down Main Street for fun in high school. Yeah, Leo, I mean, hey, sometimes you just drive to the cemetery. Sometimes you just drive to the cemetery and park and hang out at the cemetery. Because you've been to too many people's houses and you're tired of going to houses, so you just fucking go to the cemetery. It wasn't great, is what I'm saying. All right, so we finished it. We are build complete. Because I'm gonna take a photo of this standing up, I'm gonna supply it with some weapons. Parents kicked you out of the house. Yeah, right? Sometimes parents are just like, hey, go do something. And you're like, we don't have any money. One of our friends has enough money to like put gas in the car, I guess. I guess we'll go hang out somewhere and find something to do. I don't technically live in a small town, says Lord Crashens. But on the line between a small town and a big one. It led to weird things before stores and restaurants were built. There would live a few streets outside of the Pizza Hut's delivery range and always had to pick it up. Stuff like that. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, where you're just like outside delivery range. I had that, certainly. You always had to pick stuff up. Harold, you have a great night. Great to see you, friend. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for hosting as always. Talk to you soon. Hopefully, Harold, I'll see you on Wednesday if you can hang out for a little bit. I'm going to play Jackbox again because I bought it and we didn't test one of the games. So we're going to do Murder Party on Wednesday. Plus, we'll do more Boat because that one's fun. Stuff like that. Now there are several Pizza Huts and most fast food places. Yeah. When the town that I lived in, not the village, the actual town I lived in, got a McDonald's, it was like, I'll drop by after I see you on Wednesday. Hell yeah, Harold. Thank you. It was a big fucking deal when we got a McDonald's. They had to change the light. Not change it. They had to add a light to the street because of all of the cars coming in and out of the drive-thru. That they had to add, like they had to change things up because they accommodate the amount of people that were trying to merge in and out and put in and eventually they extended the road so that they could put a left signal turn there and have like another lane. It really did change things up when the McDonald's came to town. It was a big effing deal. Okay, so the shield here, you can hold it, and we can clomp it in here, I believe. Or no, that's just the other way. Whatever, we're just going to hold it like this. Oops. Oh, no. All right. Whatever. That's... We'll just put the shield like that. This is a little cumbersome, but it's a great looking kit. Uh, so yeah, we finished it. This is the Gerbera, the RE100, the third of the RE100 line. It's a pretty great looking kit. We have 2 malls, 2 other big shopping strips, and a lot of redundancy places to eat. Yeah, I mean, like, eventually you're going to get that in some bigger towns where you're going to get, like, you get, like, a Chili's across the street from a TGI Fridays, and you're like, are both of these going to survive? And then they do somehow, and you're like, all right, good on you. I feel like you shouldn't have made this one across the street from the other and maybe, like, gone to a different shopping plaza, but okay, you do you. Oh yeah, so this thing is meant to bend down so you can use it two-handed, but we aren't going to do that. I'm going to take a photo of this now so I don't have to do it later. And then we'll get on to the next build. Because we're going to work on the Shenlong that came out, the P Bandai Shenlong, which is from the manga, and so it has a short sword and shield, the Liao Ya unit. But we're just gonna call it the custom because it is a customized Shenlong, and there is a piece of information I have to give you about this that shocked me today. But we'll do this first. Oh yeah, we'll put this. You can see it. That maybe, yeah. Take a little photo. It's a good-looking kit. Happy to put it together. But yeah, we're gonna start the Shenlong. So I gotta take this backpack off, and then get this off. Keep the gun for now, and then this just gets removed there. That is our kit. Is there any extra pieces on this? Oh, I forgot that it has sabers. We'll just do that real quick before we move on. Yeah, let me know, like, your town growing up. Like, y'all come from big towns, you come from little towns. That's a fun thing to talk about for a little bit. What was it like? I'll say car culture was important in our town because there was zero public transportation where I grew up. There were no sidewalks. It was a farm. There were more cows than people like 50 years before I was born. So you either got rides or you got picked up by friends, or you got a car. But there was definitely no like take the bus. I mean the school bus, right? There was the school bus when you were a student at school. You rode the bus, but I would not call him a friend of mine because I did not like him, but a neighbor of mine who was my age had a car before he could drive it. He had inherited a brother's car that he was working on fixing up and waiting for the age where he could drive it legally. So I would sit in this car, of his car, while we waited for the bus to come because he could turn it on and we could have heat in the car. And then the bus would come and then we'd get out of the car and go to school. And that's how that worked. And that's nonsense. But that was the thing that we did. It was better than waiting outside for the bus. I'll tell you that. Alright, so that is going to be our Gerbera. It's a pretty decent kit. Happy to work on that. We're going to move on now to the Shenlong Gundam Endless Waltz. So the discovery I made with this kit, and I'll move some pieces around here, is that there is some real childhood memories there, right? I thought you'd appreciate that. So I got this kit and I opened it up and I started looking at the parts, and there's some tubing things, because basically it's the Shenlong Gundam, and then it also has a shield, and it has a sword, and the sword is like attached by like a thing to the shield, right? But it's just the Shenlong Gundam and a sword. And by that I mean it's the 2011 re-release of the Shenlong Gundam, because you can fucking see it says 2011. Can you see that? Yeah. It's 2011 Shenlong Gundam. And then it also comes with this sheet, which tells you how to build the new shield and the stand for the shield, or the attachment for the shield, and the sword. So it just added some stuff, and it added some different decals. It's the same goddamn kit. It's not a new version of the kit. It's not an updated version of the kit. It's the 2011 re-release of the kit, which already exists. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. Can't lie to you. We've built the Shenlong Gundam before. Yeah. Yeah, I've built the Shenlong Gundam before on this stream. I mean, it's a Gundam Wing kit. I'm gonna build it. The only Gundam Wing kits we haven't built on the stream right now are, we haven't built the real grade Tallgeese 3, but we've built the Tallgeese 3 before. And we haven't built we built the Leo, but we haven't built the Space Leo, which is fine. And the Mercury or whatever. We haven't built that because it's just hard to get. But yeah, Mudun, we've built this kit. And I was all excited about like a re-release of it with the new sword, which looked rad. And like, yeah, it's got a lot of cool decals, and I'm excited to build it. But like, it's just another Shenlong Master Grade, because you just build the Shenlong, and then you also augment the shield is augmented. We're gonna augment the shield. So there is some changes. Sorry, burping there. Apologize. Getting heated. At least the real grade of the Tallgeese, which I don't have, and someday I will get. At least that is like a new mold because it's a real grade. Just another Shenlong Gundam should be a fan song. But like, they didn't even redo the instructions. They just added instructions. I don't know. Maybe I'm like, yeah, it's just like this print came out. So this is new. This is the 2019 release. I don't know. I might be more mad than I should be. It's got a cool sword. It's a fun kit. Hello, Lashbrook. But I am I'm a little hot about this. So going to start organizing this a bit here. We'll just kind of organize our pieces here, and then most likely it'll just be like, yeah, we just filled in the parts here and there where it needed more parts. C and D. So I'm just going to really quickly kind of organize this by letter, and then I will shove all the parts where I need it. That still looks good. I mean, we don't need this. This is the staff for the Shenlong, which we don't need because we said we're going to give it a sword. So it's kind of useless to have. I'm still excited to build it. It's a kit I like. The Shenlong is a great kit. Hype for 60 FPS Red Dead, says Mr. Bob. Yes, Mr. Bob, that's coming out, right? People are going to play Red Dead 2 all over again. Uh, oh, thank you for the follow. JRSVT underscore. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Make sure you turn notifications on so you know when I go live. I generally stream Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Occasionally I stream beyond that. These are our new parts here. Literally, this is just a new letter. Tomorrow sometime. Yeah. Cheers to you. Welcome. Just organizing parts. Look, does it have a lot of water transfer decals? Yes. Is that make up for the fact that this is just an old kit with new parts? No. I mean, I thought it was going to be an update, right? Like, why would I think that this was just literally the kit from 2011, the re-release of 2011, with a new coat of paint? Like, I don't know. Joke's on me, I guess. I mean, I'm so excited to do it. The sword's going to be cool. I mean, it's a big red sword. It attaches to the chain of the shield. I think that's cool. I like that. But I am a little disappointed with where we're going with this. Just gonna organize this here. GH XB is I, and then HI, and then XA, XB, and this thing. Great, cool. I have now organized by letter. I'll have to update that later. This is going to come at the end, so we can put this aside for now. And we're just going to start building. And we're not going to be... Look, here's the thing. I love Gundam Wing. I love building model kits from Gundam Wing. I put on my wish list, which we'll, of course, talk about later, all of the Gundam Wing kits again. Because, not the Gundam Wing, because all of the death sites. Because I want to build the death sites again. Because I love the death sites. Also, all the death sites I built before, I don't want to send out. So eventually I'll build them again, and then they can go out to subscribers, like I like to do. So that's always been the plan. But, yeah, it's just a little frustrating that this is just a 2011 kit with some extra parts. I don't know. I'll get over it. I'm not super mad. I'm a little disappointed, but it's still a cool kit, and I'm still happy to build it. It just could be cooler. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of other small town stuff because I was talking a little bit before I started going on this rant about something. They did that with the Alex high grade for one of the shorts. Sounds like the Simpsons joke of Malibu Stacy with the new hat. Yes, yeah, Lord Crashington. It is a bit of just a rebrand. Oh, time for water. Time to drink some water. Nightbot command, water. Apologies, my allergies are kicking in, or it's maybe the change of the weather. I don't know. It finally got cold. It got cold enough with the heat's on in my apartment, which is great because it was just cold enough to not really need the heat, but to need a sweatshirt or a hoodie indoors, and I don't like that. I'd much prefer to open a window than to throw on a bunch of layers or like have a blanket on my bed at night. That kit was one of those 20-year-old kits, but sold as a new high grade. Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah, like I said, I was mostly surprised when I pulled, like today, because I hadn't taken them out of the plastic. I did that today before the stream. And as I was taking it out, I looked at it and went, 2011? What? They didn't even print new instructions? They just that might be the actual thing that I'm mad about. Is they didn't even bother to reprint the instructions. They just added new instructions to it. That does bother me. But now I'll know that if I do end up getting the heavy arms that has all of the extra missiles and stuff, just to know that that's a 2000 something re-release of the heavy arms with extra shit. In this case, the extra shit being a lot of missile launchers. But it'll be good to know that going into it. And also, if it doesn't deviate too much for the original build of it, I know how to build these kits. I know the ins and outs of the wing kits. It was snowing off and on all day today. Not enough to stick around, but enough to make visibility limited while being out. It was odd. Yeah, Leo, I haven't. I know there are parts of the country, the U.S., that have had a lot of already seeing some snow. We haven't had that here. It's just gotten noticeably colder. Like I said, to the point where my landlord turned the heat on this weekend, which is always a little weird because it means that my radiator is actually like over here behind my green screen. So when I set up, I actually block the heat a little bit in the room, which is fine. It's never been a problem. And in fact, is probably helpful because I think on Wednesday when I do my bonus game stream and we play some Jackbox stuff, it'll just be warmer in here. But I'll compensate by not having to have my lights on, that I need for the green screen and for building. So it can always be a little darker, which is great. But yeah, I mean, right now, the stuff we're doing in this kit is very basic. Yeah, and eventually it'll be so hot in here that I will have to open a window. And then I will think about closing that window for the stream. The dead of summer and the dead of winter are both kind of uncomfortable for the way I stream, which is very strange. I know. All right. Hey, it's our pilot. Pull him out. Our cold front died off, and it was 80 today. Dang, Lashbrook, that is different. That is not what I am dealing with, and I don't think that's what most of the people watching this stream are dealing with. It's possible folks watching later on YouTube or the VOD are dealing with that, dealing with the heat, but yeah, I am not in that situation. We need F10. Got to build our cockpit. Or, sorry. G7 and G6. And then I need F10. That's what this is. Got to build our cockpit for our Shenlong. We are looking at a low of 11 by the weekend. Woo, that is low, my friend. Leo, stay warm. Do what you got to do. Keep it warm. I am going to the thing that I have going on right now is the night job I do, the tech job that I do that is very part-time, just twice a week. They, let's see, oh yeah, they moved locations. And for the most part, that's great, except that my walk is now 25 minutes, and I am now expecting that to be 10 minutes longer once the wind starts picking up, because I go at a good pace, but like, oof. It is really nice though on Fridays, because I found that I've only done this for a couple weeks, but Friday is the day where I started at 9 instead of 10 and work till 5:30, and then at 6 head into my night job. And doing both those things is a lot, and having that half an hour, that 25 minute walk is very helpful. And of course I have the cushion, so if it does take longer, it's fine. But I'm going to find myself, I bet, taking the subway at night on the way home. The problem is that the subway is still a ways away from, the walk to the subway. You only actually shave a couple minutes late at night. But if I can prevent myself from being fucking cold. Or the the thing I don't want to do is start taking cabs and splitting cabs. Like, certainly not taking myself, but splitting cabs with people, because then it's just like, well, that's all the money I was making doing this. Why am I doing that if I'm going to spend all the money on a cab? But we'll see. I don't know. I'm learning about it. I'm figuring it all out. I have to see. I've been thinking about the way my schedule works now. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with ending my day job at 6:30, and then having time to relax, to get some work done, to eat, and then to start streaming. This has all felt pretty good. So far, I am pretty pleased with how Mondays work and how Thursdays work. Saturday, like I've talked about this. I contemplated the idea of, like, should I be streaming Saturday night? What if Saturday was the day where I didn't have anything? Because right now, I stream Monday, some Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I work Monday through Friday, and then I work another job Friday and Sunday. So I've been thinking about, what if I... And then I'm like, well, do I stream Sunday afternoon? Do I stream Sunday night late? Does that even make sense? I don't know. I don't have a good answer right now. I'm still thinking about all those things. The one thing I always prioritize is my comfort at home. Keep my house at mid-60 all year, even if the AC costs me extra in the summer. I hear you, Leo. I'm pretty adaptable when it comes to weather. Here's the thing with me. I most of the time, would rather open a window, turn some fans on if it gets too warm, but I don't like shivering. And I also, it's just this weird thing that I understand I'm oddball about, but, like, I'm in an apartment. It's cold outside. It shouldn't be, in the winter, it should not be cold in my apartment. It should be, when I open the door and walk into my kitchen, my glasses should fog up because it's way warmer in there than it was there. I want to peel off all those layers. I want to walk around in shorts. That's what I want. And I am often unhappy if I am dealing with some other version of that. And that's not everybody, but that is me. So this goes like this. Then we got to get bottom part of this. With all the insulation from other units, it should stay pretty warm. Yeah, my apartment is pretty warm. I mean, we're the second floor of a house, so it's kind of an old house. But my side of the house here, the three windows, the two in my bedroom and the one in the living room that's right near me, are all very new. They're only a couple years old. So when those came in, it actually made it a lot warmer in the winter because suddenly air wasn't escape or coming in. Cold air wasn't coming outside as often. So I have to open up the windows. Now, there's a window here that is permanently has a curtain over it, and that's also where the green screen goes. And that one is usually shut. And in really, really warm times, like in the really warm summer, I will have to open that window. But most of the time I don't. Oops, I missed a thing. I messed up. Gotta fix my mistake. Made a mistake. Gotta fix that. Let's fix that. I'm going to... We'll take a moment here and tweet out. We are starting the Shenlong. We'll see. There's probably some retweets. I'm just going to retweet that, or add in. Yeah, go over here, retweet us. Oops, I'm in capital letters. Started the Shenlong. We did start the Shenlong. This was a close vote on if I was going to do this one or the Zabi. I enjoy this kit. Now I wish I'd done the Zabi because that clear red is just a very cool looking kit and feels a little cooler than now the realization that we are building a 2011 kit that we have built on the stream before. There's a lot of positives to this, like I said. And the sword's going to look fucking rad, and the connector thing is going to look cool, and I'm going to be excited about it, but I guess if I had done the research, I would have known that it wasn't a brand new version of the Shenlong. It was just a modification of that. Alright, so this is going to go here. Alright. And then this, we've got to make sure we're putting this on right. Our neck here. Yeah. Did that, we did that. And then we're going to put on some E pieces here. So this is the blue. Start putting some blue on here on our body. Yeah, we'll take a pause for the cause in a couple minutes. I want to do a little bit more of this, and then we'll take our little break. I'll talk to you about ways you can support the stream if that's what we like to do. I will talk about some anime stuff. Only one new show, and then I got caught up on some stuff. We'll talk about that, and then we'll kind of open up the floor and see if there's anything else we want to talk about. I guess as I'm finishing up before we take our pause for the cause, I don't have a lot to say about stuff coming out of BlizzCon. We talked about a bit on Saturday about, like, can you be excited for the people that work there and the work they're doing while understanding that the company is fucking really, like, you disagree with a lot of what they're saying and what they're not saying. But can you be excited for your friends that worked on a game, or folks that Diablo means the world to them and having Diablo 4, and what do the implications of that mean? And it's like a lot of shit to think about. In the same way, VK Lion, you cannot talk about VK Lion in a vacuum. VK Lion is the grand champion of Hearthstone that was decided at BlizzCon. Not only is VK Lion the first woman to ever compete at the Grand Masters Finals and make it that far. Obviously, she's the first woman to be there. Well, she's the first woman to win the whole thing, obviously, and she did it at the same time, and that is an accomplishment that, like, major sites should be talking about, and esports have been talking about. But then also, she also is the first Chinese player to win the Grand Masters, to win this big, giant, long tournament. And it is like a very odd time to be like, oh, all of China is behind this one streamer or this one player. That's fucking weird and, like, worth discussing and worth talking about. And it is an odd time to be like, oh yeah, well, also, hey, we could talk about how the other person in the finals chooses to use the name Bloody Face, and how, like, that also makes it fucking weird out of context. Oh, it makes everything fucking weird that his name is Bloody Face. It's a lot. A lot of shit is going on. And it's a rough thing to get excited about. I think I'm, at least for the time being, I am done streaming Hearthstone. When the next expansion comes out, I may change my mind. I don't know. I have not made that decision yet. I will, of course, let people know. As of right now, I don't think that I can stream Blizzard games. Uh, I am able to monetize those on YouTube without any problems. Not that I make much money at all on there. That's not really a factor in it. I enjoy the game of Hearthstone, and as of right now, I continue to play it. I don't put money into it, but I do put time and energy into it. I am allowing other people to play. I am someone that people can play against. I'm having some trouble getting this thing connected, but we'll figure it out. Um, so, uh, so I am certainly, if not fully, partially complicit in the company by continuing to use their product and play their free-to-play game, which I certainly have put money into in the past. Uh, yeah, there are certainly not easy answers when it comes to this stuff, and I don't begrudge folks that are getting excited about games they want to be excited about. I think that that would be very hypocritical of me, as much as I don't have the interest in them. I really like Diablo 3. I put a lot of hours in Diablo 3, especially when the Monk came out. I really jived with the Monk really well and put a lot of hours in that game. But I don't think I could or would, like, even with the changes they're coming in for that for 4, I just don't think that I'm going to want to play that right now. But that could change. I don't know. It's not an easy thing, and it can be pretty complicated. As I said, I mean, as it stands, like, I am against the reactions that the actions that Blizzard decided to take, and I continue to promote and respect freedom of speech and freedom of the right to protest, and their decision to punish the casters with the expectation apparently that the casters were supposed to, in order to do their job. Part of their job is apparently to silence people, friends, coworkers, streamers. Like, they're part of the expectation apparently is that they, if something is coming up, will shout over it and shut it down. And that is not their, like, that's unbelievable. That's not in their contracts. That should not be an expectation. The irony is Blizzard won't get either Diablo or Overwatch 2 out for a year or so at least. Yeah. I understand. I've loved Blizzard in the past, but it's pretty difficult the past few weeks. Yeah, I'm very excited for Overwatch. Yeah, Leo, Overwatch is a game that I like. I mean, look, the hamster ball, the wrecking ball. I have that Lego set. I'm gonna build that Lego set, and I'm excited to do that. I am aware of that, and I hope that is weird, and I hope that can lead to conversations and discussion. That's the hope, anyway, is that while I'm building that, we can talk about these things. But it is also, I know that I am, in the same way, in the same way that building something from Star Wars or Ghostbusters is advertising that corporate product. And I mean, I'm building a Gundam here. I'm enjoying it, but I'm telling you, it's like, oh, this is the Gundam Wing. This is Shenlong for Gundam Wing, and blah blah blah, and we'll discuss it and talk about it. And I am promoting the brand of Gundam by building this kit. I am aware of that. It's cool. The new PvP stuff is coming to Overwatch so people don't necessarily have to buy a new game. Yeah, yeah, that is fun. I like that. Yeah, that people that have invested in Overwatch and bought, because that's the other thing, right? They're not going to carry over your cool skins to Overwatch 2. And so if you invested a lot of time and energy into Overwatch and you want to keep playing Overwatch, they're going to give you more content in Overwatch. There we go. Finally got this. This took a while to snap together. Like, that's cool. I like that. They are carrying everything over. Okay. Leo, that's how much I paid attention to. I didn't realize they were carrying everything over. Well, that's cool. I'm glad they're doing that. They're not pulling a Destiny. Well, that's good. I'm glad they're carrying everything over for folks that really invested time and energy into that game to be able to do that. That's cool. So that's good. All right. Let's take a pause for the cause, and then we'll get back to the building. First and foremost, thanks so much for being here. If you're currently a subscriber, you can give the Bear Cave emote, the Lego emote, the Scythe if you're a tier 2. Let the people know that you are a subscriber. Thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate it very much. If you are new to watching or you're watching later on YouTube, I do stream 6 hours of builds a week, plus some weeks I do bonus. Like this Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a Jackbox Party Pack 6 stream because I enjoy Jackbox. And I just bought Party Pack 6, so let's play it again, because why not? Also, next week, I might not even be able to build 6 hours because I'll be working at Anime NYC at convention, so I'll be streaming oddly next week. I'll be doing next Monday as normal, then next Tuesday I'll be streaming, and then I'm going to try to stream on Thursday from my hotel and work on a Lego set, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull that off, so pending. I'll kind of know. I'll test it on Wednesday, and I'll know Wednesday if I can do that. I don't know. I also don't know necessarily what my schedule is. I actually might, because I'm working in New York, be able to go to my apartment on Thursday and do my stream, and then go back to my hotel. So I think I might just do that. If I'm working in a reasonable time and I can get home in time to stream at 9, I might just stream as normal from my apartment, and then just go back to the hotel. It all depends on it, because I still don't know what my schedule is for next week. I've got to find out. All right. So, talking about ways you can support the stream. Bits and coins are always appreciated. There's a leaderboard. There's 2 leaderboards now. There is the gifting leaderboard. You could be the first person to gift a subscription if you have one. You want to gift it to one of the people watching the stream that doesn't have one. You could also donate bits and coins. Those always helpful, always really support a way to support the stream. Become a subscriber using your Twitch Prime or your Cash Money. You got options. If you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to Twitch Prime. That's another way. It's the beginning of the month, so it's a great time to get into my Patreon, because you'll be charged $1 or $5 or $10. There are different tiers, different rewards, totally worth looking at. It's another way of supporting the stream if that's something you'd like to do. As you know, I bought this kit at New York Comic Con, but a lot of my kits that I build on stream come from my Amazon wish list. And I update it pretty constantly. I've got some new stuff in there that I'm excited about. At the top, some inexpensive kits, some expensive kits. The 3-in-1 Dune Buggy is on sale right now. That's a cheap kit. That's a 3-in-1, so even though it's not that many pieces, I got to build all 3 versions, so that's a nice little bang for the buck. A bunch of Lego sets. That Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta kit, which I have not. It's one of the few that I haven't built. I have that, and Brawly, and Gogeta, I think, and Frieza. I have 4. I think there's only 4 of them. And then the Time Machine, but that I don't think I'm ever going to build, because it's just very expensive. I'd rather put my own money towards other kits than that. But yeah, I got a whole mess of stuff there. You could buy something off the wish list. Also, as an alternative, if you don't want to go through Amazon, you could buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store, and then send me a whisper here on Twitch or a DM on Twitter. My DMs are open. And you can buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store and then send me the code because you get in your email. Then I'll buy something from USA Gundam Store. They have stuff on sale all the time because they email me every day with ads, which is fine because they are a business that wants my money, and I get it. I also, hey, if you're like one-time donation, one-time donation, you could do that. You could donate through Coffee or Streamlabs or PayPal, and anything I make from that goes to buying model kits. It just goes to a fund. The same thing with Twitch money and Patreon. I got my Patreon payout today. I'll get my Twitch payout in the middle of the month, hopefully. If it drips below 100, I won't, but I think that, or dips, not drips. Ugh, drips sucks. Sounds awful. I believe that I will have a payout at the middle of the month. I believe that's true. Just a way to support the stream. These are just different ways to support the stream. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord if you want. That's a cool place for cool people. Do I have any videos to promote? No. I'll have on Wednesday, I'll have a new background of characters, and you can watch that on Wednesday. YouTube.com/PatBaer. I don't talk about that often. YouTube.com/PatBaer. Twitter.com/PatBaer. That's my social and my video channel. That is a way to hang out, do that, and then, of course, honk and goose or other Nightbot commands you can put in there if you want. If you want to do that. I am going to mute myself. Now is a great time for you to drink some water, but I'm going to mute myself, and I am going to blow my nose because I need to do that. So let me find. So, yeah. Hold on one second. I'm going to take off this and just blow my nose. All right, audio's back, and I'm back, and we're on the Shedlong. Hello, welcome back. Sorry about that. I'm gonna drink a little water now. We're gonna keep building. We'll talk about some anime. All right, anime time. Can put this over here. Press the anime button. Only 2 shows to talk about right now. We'll talk about I often on Monday nights talk about My Hero Academia. It was off this week. I normally talk about, because the episode airs during the stream, I normally talk about One Piece. No One Piece this week. One Piece was off. I didn't realize that both were going to be off the same weekend, which is odd, but okay. Especially because there's going to be some story stuff coming up. So I was kind of surprised we weren't getting a One Piece. But that's okay. So I'll talk about the new show, and then I'll talk about what I watched just to watch something. And because I said I would try to get caught up on it. So let's talk about, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? This was the backstory episode. We heard about everybody's backstories, and Reina's was sad, as we expected. Our fire user, our spellcaster, the Crimson Reina, who they derived the name the Crimson Vow from, which is the name of their group, which is a fun name. So we learned her backstory, and it's fun and good. And sad. It's very sad. It's for what is a somewhat parody of isekai, and is somewhat lighthearted, and there are a lot of jokes in it. Her backstory is not funny. It is tragic. It is sad. She lost two families, and like has a lot. Like she's dealing with a lot, and it is a sad story. It's not played for laughs. There's some levity to it in the response that people have of just like understanding and getting it, and then Mavis, the knight, like is very sad and very touched by it. Um, there's the My favorite joke of it is that Mavis's backstory is just plain and obvious and simple. Mavis's backstory, she is the knight, is that her mother died. I guess every character's mother passed away, with or no, one of them's fathers died. Uh, Mavis's mother passed away. She was raised by her father and brothers, and she wants to be a knight, and they didn't want her to be a knight, so she ran away from home so that she become a hunter, which will allow her to become a knight. And they were like, and then everybody was like, "Yeah, Mavis, that's exactly the kind of story you should have. It's not tragic at all. It's a bummer your mother died, but you don't have a tragic backstory comparatively." And that was pretty fun. And then Paulina, we learn her backstory is she is working towards making enough money and fulfilling a destiny to seek revenge on the man that had her father killed and took over her family business. So that is why she is hungry for money so that she can earn her revenge, and has this like dark smile, and it's a recurring gag that she's kind of a terrifying character, and she is. And that was good. It was a good bit of business. And then we learn um, they don't talk about the reincarnation part, but we learn a lot about Mile, our main character, who is the girl that um, a thing that's very funny that they don't really call out is, okay, so she was a prodigy, right? She was really smart, whatever. She literally got hit by a truck that she calls Truck Coon. She cliche died in the way that you die in these types of shows. She is aware that she died in a cliched manner. Um, she is reborn. At age 10, she regains her memories. And then she discovers. Oh, and then her her mother dies, and her grandfather dies, and then her father remarries, and it's very clear to her anyway that her father um, uh, killed her mother or had her mother killed. And then she is like disowned and can't use her name, uh, family name, and so she escapes to a school. And a bunch of nonsense happens, and she gains some powers and some friends, and then eventually she has to leave that school. Because now that she has magic, she doesn't get run over by a carriage trying to protect someone. She does jump in the way in order to protect somebody who's going to get hit by a carriage, but she doesn't die doing it because now she has magical powers. And it's kind of a funny moment. Uh, we find out that she is the like a Visar or a Vika something or whatever. Which is the average between a slave and royalty, because she is average in every way. I will remind you that she is the average power between the weakest human that has no magical abilities and the great dragon, the most powerful creature of all time, which makes her more powerful than almost every human that exists, because she is average, because she has to be average. And she didn't specify, make me an average human. She said, make me average. So she is generally the average of power, which I think is, I like that is that thing of like, be careful what you wish for and be clear with your wishes. Yeah, it was just some backstory, and then I don't know what's gonna come up about it, but we learn, yeah, and they refocus their desires to stay together and to work together. And yeah, it's pretty fun. Um, it is a good show. It is my second favorite show of the season. If you are burnt out on isekai, it is a breath of fresh air. If you don't watch isekai, it is one of the best of the modern versions of them. If you like adventure series and series with magic and fantasy that also like heavily relies on found family and it is just like just good vibes and good times. I highly recommend it. I don't actually. I'm just realizing that there are only a couple stickers that come with this kit, but I don't know where that went. I don't know where the stickers for this kit went. I may have dropped them. So we'll have to go back and do the head stickers because I can't find my sticker sheet for this kit. It's most likely somewhere in my bedroom, but right now I don't have it. So we finished the body. We're going to move on to the head. And I'm going to talk about Boruto. Weird, y'all. I'm not fully caught up on Boruto, but I watched a bunch of episodes that I had kind of let it go because I wasn't really feeling the plot. But they time traveled, and so it's fucking it. They're in early Naruto times. They're in like young adult. Jiraiya is alive. Naruto doesn't have control over his Jinchuriki. It's weird and kind of fun and weird and kind of cool. It is a little Back to the Future. It's very strange. It's cool to have Jiraiya there. I think that's fucking rad as hell. And there's a fun little bit where Hinata is like, they're like, oh, it's weird you're talking to that stranger. She's just like, I don't know. I just feel comfortable around him, and that's because that's her future son that she's just like is okay with being nice to because he seems nice. I don't know. It is a weird thing to have like Sakura and like punching Naruto and then Boruto being like, oh, okay, that's where she gets it. Oh, okay, yeah. I don't really know Sakura's mom or Sadara's mom that well, but now I understand more about her. Got it. Just like, yeah. And then, so the whole thing is like a big fundamental element of Boruto is, hey, I know he's busy because he's like the boss of the town, but your dad's pretty cool. And like, you should go easy on him is like a fundamental element of the show. And so now we're just seeing more of that and be like, now you get to see what your dad was like when he wasn't perfect because he was just trying to figure things out and has a sad backstory. Well, maybe you can respect your dad a little bit more after you hang out with him. It's weird. I mean, like I said, I'm not mad about having Jiraiya there. Like, that rules. I'm very excited about Jiraiya being around because he's a great character. And almost feels like a little bit of a, fine, here's Jiraiya. Stop being mad at me because we didn't mention him at all at the wedding. Because fans were mad that back when they did the wedding towards the end of Shippuden, they didn't acknowledge Jiraiya because he was so important to Naruto. So now we get to see him be important. It's a whole thing. They're really focusing on, and it makes sense they are, but they're really focusing on the whole Boruto hanging out with Naruto, trying to protect Naruto. That they're not really focusing on the fact that, like, Sasuke's there. Like, they kind of are, but not really. Like, Sasuke also traveled back in time, and he's trying to, like, not fuck up the future, but kind of. He could undo a lot of bullshit if he wanted to. Like, I understand that he's not going to, but, like, a lot of his own personal heartache could be solved here if he, like, found himself and was like, hey, there's a big understandable reason why your brother is killed your whole fucking family. There's a whole thing. Let me tell you about a bunch of stuff. Don't go to hang out with like, hey, stop doing this. Dojin Noble just now following. Welcome. But yeah, I mean, like, the part of me that loved the show Naruto, and also Naruto Shippuden, that, like, loved that. I like this. A lot of the show, and I've talked about this, they go out of their way to introduce new characters and set up new scenarios and do all that. But that show also really wants you to be like, hey, but what, Choji? Here's Choji. Yeah. You liked him, right? Oh, yeah, Asuma. Oh, so sad what happened to him. His daughter grew up. Check her out. She really wants to learn about her cool dad. Let's talk about him for a while. Look, Lord Crashton, Choji is awesome. And adult Choji is fun. I don't mind adult Choji. I'm not saying I don't like that, but I am saying, like, at its core, the show Boruto is like, hey, check out this guy. He's the first ninja of his family because they're all scientists, but he wants to be a ninja. Check him out. And they're like, yeah. But also, check out this child, right? Because the parents were cool, and he also uses Tamari's wind magic, so check this shit out. You're like, whatever. Here's Metal Lee. He's basically his dad, but he can. Oh no, I'm sorry. Metal Lee is Rock Lee's son, but he also can do magic. He can do ninja magic. Like, what? Who's his mom? They don't say. They won't tell you. He also has performance anxiety, so that balances out the fact that he is, like, clearly better than his dad. They made his dad what with abilities. And then they were like, oh yeah, but he gets nervous in front of crowds. So that's his tragic story. It is a weird show. Boruto is a weird show. And this, yeah, Rock Lee, so awesome. Hell yeah, he was. Rock Lee was pretty. Look, I will say this: Shippuden Rock Lee is weird. It's good that he gets over. It's good that he gets over a lot of, like, the stuff that holds him back, which is attempting to woo Sakura. Like, that helps a lot with his character when he kind of moves past that and just wants to support and hang out with 1010 and see what's up with 1010. So that he's better off for that. And then Drunken Master Rock Lee is great. Drunken Fighter Rock Lee rules. Also, his son is named Metal Lee, and that's just cool. Look, like I said, I'm talking some gang about Boruto, the show, but also some of the stuff they do I'm real into and I really like, including the choice to be like, just, yeah, the naming convention stuff is fun. And a lot of people are always just like, wait, his son is named Boruto? And you're like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. that his son is named Boruto. It's a whole goddamn thing. Every kid in that show, honestly, except for Metal Lee, everyone named their kid something that sounds like their name. It's like the thing. Sadara is Sasuke and Sakura's child. That's just what they did. He's crown steel type. Yeah, I mean, probably. He's like electric steel, maybe, because he can do some magic. So he maybe should have some magic abilities. Look, I'm not trying to sell you on Boruto. I get it. But the nostalgia parts of me like what they're doing. I'm into it. There's something they're doing something right. I had stopped watching it because there was just too much anime. But hey, when two of the shows I normally watch to talk about on Monday don't happen, I suddenly find myself on Sunday afternoon going, I guess I'll get caught up on Boruto. And I did. Because there's no shows that I'm not watching that I was like, oh, I should watch that. I'm kind of interested in Fate Apocalyptica because you don't need to watch any of the other Fate series to get it, apparently. You can go in cold. So I am kind of interested in the new Fate, but not enough to actually watch it. I'm tentatively interested in it. Alright, so as I said, there are 2 stickers that should be on this. The eye stickers, 3 stickers, and the forehead stickers. I do not know where the sticker for this went. I have the dry decals, but I don't know where the actual sticker thing went for this. I dropped it somewhere. I will find it. And I will either do it on the stream, Thursday stream, or I will do it off stream. But I will find that little sticker piece pack that I dropped somewhere, so that I can put the stickers that belong on here. Like I said, I just don't know where it went. They went somewhere. I'll find it. It's cool. He's a ground type because his dad is Rock Lee. Damn straight. Naruto was awesome because of the variety of students and their powers. Yeah, and they have them, right? There's some cool, really interesting like students that like the supporting cast of Boruto is pretty cool. It's just that also they have to make sure you remember that Naruto was a good show and that the Naruto characters are cool. Like they gotta make sure you know that shit, which is a detriment to it in some ways. Because yeah, there are introductions of new characters and new fighting styles, and there's some Earth type which like you don't see that much, and that's kind of cool. And Mitsuki, even though Mitsuki is like weird, Mitsuki's like kind of cool because, well, Mitsuki is the offspring. He is a clone. He's a son clone. He is Boba Fett for Orochimaru. And people don't know that, but Orochimaru basically asexually reproduced or cloned himself as a child, and he's been doing it a lot, and this is just one of them. But Mitsuki is parent is Orochimaru, and so he's got sage powers. Like he's like a really strong. He's abnormally strong because of course he is, but he's like interesting. They do a whole thing where he gets a cat. It's very like Data-ish. It's kind of a fun reference. Like that's an interesting character. I mentioned before the son of a family of scientists and inventors who is the first person in his family to want to become a ninja, and he's kind of fun. Like there are some likable new characters. There are also, like I said, there are some characters that aren't just the son of or daughter of like people. And then you get like The little kid that was the grandson of the third Hokage, he's now like a teacher, and he like kind of he instructs, and he's kind of like a like older brother figure to Boruto, and that's kind of fun to go full circle. Uh, there's a very fun scene where he gets drunk with Hanada's younger sister, talking about Boruto, and it's a fun little scene. Uh, there's some fun stuff in that show. The dog trainer dude shows up. He is still attempting to date the cat trainer ninja, and that has not worked out. But he's trying to see what's up. There's some stuff. As I said, it's an okay show. Yes, Shino is a teacher, so he is teaching at the school. His look, he upgraded his look somewhat. But yeah, he's an instructor, which is fun because that is the thing that he, like, basically, like, the last couple episodes of Shippuden, like, he thinks about becoming a teacher. Uh, and that's fun. That was, like, a thing that he decided he wanted to work with kids. And that was, like, the thing he wanted to do. Which is pretty neat. These are D, so you see. But yeah. And then, oh, poor 1010. 1010 owns like a store that sells like tools because that was the thing. She was the ninja that used ninja tools. So she has like a ninja tool store, and they're not very popular because science and technology is kind of exploded around there. So the old classic ninja tools don't really work. I mean, she's not like Ino sad. Because, like, Ino, who's like a very strong ninja, owns a flower shop. I don't know. They have a kid. She's got a kid. Ino's got a kid. He's got good mind power stuff, but he's not a great artist. And that's a bummer because his dad is obviously a very good artist. E15. Alright. It's a whole thing. Yeah, hey, I'm going to open the floor for conversation. Not a lot of folks hanging out tonight. That's okay. Not every stream has to be bumping and thumping. Some streams can be laid back and chillax. They're obviously with Extra Life being this weekend. I know a lot of people were just like watching a lot of streams over the weekend, and I get that. So, Giant Bomb East was today, so I get like people were just too tired to watch streams. I get that, but yeah, if there's anything you want to chat about, we'll go another 10 minutes or so. Giant Bomb East just finished their stream. Yeah, I know they were gonna do. Their stream was going to be today, which is good. Good for them. They had a lot of good guests and doing some fun stuff. Happy they were able to raise some monies and all that. Austin was on there doing the 333 train. Small donation train. He's very good at that. I always forget those things on the occasions that I have done charity streams, which is infrequent, obviously, but I always forget about the importance of reminding people to donate and like having incentives I always think about, but yeah, the other stuff. Did you see the new Dino Lego? I did, Aristophan. I did see that. I'll try to look that up. So talk about it there. New Dino Lego. Go. Yes, but I did see that, and that does look fucking cool. Yeah, there's a lot of good looking stuff out there. Um, yeah, I haven't really been looking at the Jurassic stuff. Like I kind of looked at the Jurassic World kits, but the Amazon prices for those are always really really high. And I understand you are paying for uh the like, oh, this is a property like tax. Like I understand that, but it always seems like, like the Star Wars tax. Like I'm always aware of that, but the Jurassic World tax seems to be really high. Uh, Lord Crashington with the big questions. What anime? Yeah, the fossils. Those fossils look fucking rad. It's a lot of white pieces, but it does look awesome in the Lego ideas. You're not wrong. One anime have great tournament arcs. Lord Crashington. So Dragon Ball. I mean, you're mentioning the classic ones. Dragon Ball. Um, Yu Yu Hakusho. I think Yu Yu Hakusho is in its tournament arc is incredible. The Dark Tournament is when that show goes from being a good show into a great show. Um, Naruto has some good tournament stuff. Hunter x Hunter, the tournament in the tower, the arc where they're training in the tower and fighting their way through the different floors, and learning about Nen and the other abilities, the things they kind of like naturally have a perception for. Um, they do very well with that. I think that arc is really good and solid. Um, that's a great tournament arc. Flame of Recca ends too soon in its tournament arc because that show basically got canceled. But Flame of Recca has a very good tournament. I don't think you can go back to that show because I don't think it holds up. It was never great. It's a good show, but it was never a great show. But I think its tournament arc is pretty solid. Trying to think about other, and if anybody in the comments wants to, in the chat wants to say a tournament arc that you enjoyed. I mean, you mentioned the big ones. Um, uh, the mini tournament arc in I was gonna say Flame of Recca, but I haven't seen it in forever. Yeah, I tried to go back to it. And it's hard. It just, well, it doesn't look great, but like, why would it? But it also like, yeah, it's not as solid of a show as I remember it. But the tournament's still good when they get into it. Um, Yu Hakusho's tournament is incredible. Um, the second tournament in the demon world is not as good. But that is also very rushed because they knew that they were done, and also the creator Yu Hakusho was kind of done with Yu Hakusho. Uh, you then make he was going through some health issues, and then he made Hunter x Hunter, which of course has a tournament arc, as I said, that is smaller and better. Um, there's a little fighting tournament in this season, the first season, obviously, of Doctor Stone. That's pretty good. It's nowhere near the same, but it's pretty good. Trying to think of a modern show, Black Clover, has a tournament to decide who are going to be the Royal Knights, which is basically the force, the commando unit. That is well done. That is a well done arc. A lot of great character development there. Some great storytelling. The fights, some of the fights look incredibly inventive and cool. I would say that is a modern, good tournament arc. Trying to think if there's any other fighting series that have a good tournament lately. can't really think of. Yeah, I think the Boruto tournament isn't that good. It's kind of surprisingly not great. I think. Yeah, can't really think of a modern one. Entirety of G Gundam. I don't know about that. There's some good fights in that tournament, but that tournament also feels like a lot of people should have been like, "Why are we doing? Why do we keep? Why did we decide this is the way to do it? And why haven't we changed our minds about that? Because this seems dumb. This seems bad, like ineffective and bad. Maybe we should stop with this tournament. I know we think this is going to be a great way to like solve our issues. Yeah, I'm coming up a little blank on modern stories. Include the Cell games, which I wouldn't consider to be a tournament. Yeah, Lord Crashes In. Yeah, that's like a. I wouldn't necessarily consider that to be a tournament. Also, like there is a tournament at the end of Dragon Ball Z, and it's not great, but it's kind of. I mean, there's two tournaments. There's the tournament that gets interrupted, so they go fight, and then there's like the real end tournament. Um, okay, here you go. Speaking of Dragon Ball Super has two tournaments. One that I think is like ended pretty quickly, and then is really just like a tease of what's to come, but it's still a pretty good tournament. And then a big one which has a lot of highs and some lows, but also some of the oddest characters in all of Dragon Ball throughout all of the series. There's some real weird characters in that show that I can appreciate. Yeah. Trying to think if there's any other. But yeah, I think Dragon Ball Super is probably the most modern show that has a. Uh, yeah, the Tournament of Power. Yeah, so there's like the first tournament, which is like the exhibition tournament, and then there's the like real tournament where it's all of the different universes, and it's like for reals. And you think that like the first one is just gonna be what the second one is, and it's not, and it's weird, and it feels like odd. It does feel really weird. It's a strange choice. A lot of strange choices in Super. But yeah, I think that's probably the most modern one that I can think of. Can't remember the name of it. There was a show that was pretty good that came out in the 2000s that had a tournament arc that I remember liking. I mean, Shaman King tournament, which is basically what most of the show is them fighting to be the Shaman King. It's pretty cool. Once the main character realizes that he is mildly strong, but like is missing a whole concept of what to do with himself and has to be like figure it out. It's like, oh shit, okay. I could get way stronger, huh? The sports festival, My Hero Academia. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a good tournament. I could see that ranking. You get to learn about some characters. You get a lot of backstory. You get introduction of some new characters that are going to be minor that you don't really see much of. Like it is Midoriya's like coming out party in many ways. As a hero to look out for, that he is like gonna try to like do some stuff and be cool, and you should like keep an eye on him. Yeah, yeah, that could rank. I could see that. I mostly think of a lot of that show. I just reminds me a lot of like school stuff and learning, less than and not as much about like that at Sports Festival. Oh, yawning. Sorry, folks. Yawning, 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 yawning. All right, I'm going to finish this little piece up, and then we will wrap up as we start on the arms here. Put that there. All right, so let's finish this part of the arm. We want to do something with all there. Here. Okay. And this will go like this. And then that'll go like this, working on our arms. All right, so on Thursday, we will continue. As I said, I do have to find the stickers for the face there. I will find those. But that is going to wrap it up. That's going to do it here for the stream. Thanks for watching this Monday stream, the laid back one. I will be back on Thursday with my next build stream, but my next stream is actually Wednesday night. So I hope you will join me on Wednesday for the next Build with Bear hangout. And we're going to play more Jackbox games. It'll be Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time as normal, because 9 p.m. is just enough time after my work thing for me to like eat and relax and get ready to stream. And then I will stream again. Then, thank you, Aristofan. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to show an ad. You don't have to watch it. If you can, if you see an ad when this ends, you don't just see the pre-show screen. If you can watch it, that would help me out a lot. You don't have to, but it's nice if you could because it's a little bit of money for me. Anyway, I'll see you on Wednesday for my game stream. Bye-bye.